Hello, this is Lisa Russick and Misty Lore with the podcast We Are All Psychic. And we have a guest today. Her name is Dr. Lisa. Would you like to say hello?
Hello, everyone. How are you?
I think they're great. My psychic you sense says they are great, I hope.
Yes.
Misty, you think so?
I love it. Yes, I do.
Misty, do you want to ask Dr. Lisa a question? Okay.
Dr. Lisa, I would love to know, do you think that we're all psychic?
Absolutely, we are. All of us.
Well, tell us why.
Yeah, tell us why.
We are all energetic beings, right? Having a human experience. And that phrase is thrown around just willy-nilly these days. And I think it's lost its power. And if everyone listening right now can just meditate on that for just a second, just let it sit and simmer. You are actually an energetic being that you physically, your physical being cannot see, cannot touch, cannot taste, cannot hear, right? So it's something you can't see. It's like, it's an unknown. That energy is actually what's animating you. That energy, if you allow it to, controls and should control and guide your physical being, your avatar in this game. Yeah. So if your energy, then you are connected to a collective consciousness, which its essence is psychic ability. Something that's beyond you, but is you.
Oh, I love it.
That's a great answer.
Something that is beyond you, that is you. Yes. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
Yes, I'm going to remember that.
So what led you to that conclusion? Like, where tell us about you. Tell the listeners about you.
It's a winding road. So I have known that I was born or incarnated with specific abilities a little bit greater than maybe some others from the outset since I was a child. So I've had premonitions and dreams and precognition and operated in what the church would call the gift of prophecy since I was knowingly about 8 years old. And it runs strong in my family. I come from a very Christian family, mind you. And at my first premonition dream at 8 that I can recall, I just remember telling my mother, hey, I had this dream about one of my little besties at that age in 3rd grade. And there was, I could see mile markers and times and things. And there was potentially going to be an accident on their trip up north to northern Wisconsin. I'm in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And my mom just was kind of like, oh, you have the gift, and went off and just, kind of alerted my friend's mother. And they were like, okay, fine, we'll leave it a little later. A long story short, as it turns out, when they came upon that mile marker, there was a 15-car pileup because there had been a group of a family of deer that had attempted to cross the road, and it caused havoc. And so from that point forward, I always knew. So in Christianity, there's all these different denominations and non-denominational and belief systems. Well, I grew up non-denominational and with the beliefs of the gifts of the Spirit. So to me, I didn't understand why people just didn't operate that way, because this is what the Bible said and this is what I do. So why aren't we all just operating that way? Yes. Of course, in the confines of Christianity, there's this box you have to put yourself in. And so even though I went all around the country prophesying and teaching and laying on of hands and what they would call faith healing and what I now call channeling and giving, messages, channeling the angels and, channeling Jesus, and all of that. We didn't call it that then, but that's exactly what it is. I just operated that way and always wanted to be outside of this box. I didn't understand why Christianity forced me to have certain beliefs, but then couldn't explain others. Right?
Yes.
Right.
So it just didn't fit. And at some point, life happened. My second marriage fell apart because I came home and caught him cheating in my house. But that's that'd be another whole hour-long conversation about empaths and narcissists. We'll do that another time.
That's a necessary one. That's necessary. Necessary. You're coming back for that one if you want.
So, It was what it was, but what happened is the answers I was getting from all of the church folks was either I was not submissive enough, or I chose the wrong man. I need to let God choose for me the next time, or just wait, the right man is coming, and it wasn't working.
Right.
None of that was telling me why I came home to find my husband with another woman on the couch in my living room. In our house after 4 months of marriage. Nobody, that didn't explain nothing to me. I didn't get it.
No, of course not.
So then that's when I said, this ain't it. I have to find something else. And that's how I got introduced to spirituality, through my counselor, because I was broken, completely broken. I didn't know anything about meditation or chakras or anything like that. So I had consciously been doing these things. And
under another name. Yeah.
Absolutely. But I was always told that all these things were evil, and that the tarot was evil.
The Bible says don't do that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But astrology was evil. All these things are evil. Divination is evil. Mm-hmm. And yet, here it is that I have finally figured out a connection I've never felt before, a true connection outside of the meat suit, as my good friend says.
I like that, yeah.
Outside of this avatar.
Yeah.
And so that when I opened up to that, I opened up to a collective consciousness that I've never looked back from. At that point, became a Reiki master, became a shaman, became an astrologer, became a coach, became a tarot reader, a healer. I was already those things. And I think that's what I want everyone to understand is you are already all of these things.
Yes.
You just got to remember.
Yeah. And try. And
And try.
I agree.
And try.
Yes.
It may not work the first time, or it might already be doing something. I think Dr. Lisa, I really think everybody is doing consciously something with their energy, some kind of energy work, and they're not aware they're doing it. Almost everybody I've met is if they're not aware of it, I can look at them and be like, oh, they're doing blah, blah, blah right now. I'm not sure. I'm not positive because I'm not them, but I can tell, a telepath, they don't usually have any idea they're telepaths. Right. I think that's how everybody is, or they have a very strong perception, for example.
Right. It scares them. It scares them too. Yeah. I tell you what, I have, before I knew a lot of this, I would do things like in my mind and it would happen and it would scare me. Mm-hmm. Like, and I started to learn that I can, do right with that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I remember, guys, not too long ago, I was on a plane. And I was trying to get the energy in that plane and absorb it. And every time I would go ground myself in that plane, the plane shook. And I kid you not. And then I would stop and it would stop. I did it 3 times, but nobody around me knew what I was doing.
Don't crash that plane.
No, it was just like a little vibration, like it would just kind of, move around a little bit. Freaked me out, but I was like, I can do that.
Yes, absolutely.
You can.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know what too, how I teach people how to tap in and how to remember. I start them off real simple. So have you ever gotten ready to go somewhere, to the store or whatever, and you just had this feeling, oh man, I need to wait a few minutes, or something distracts you and you didn't go at the precise time. Maybe you couldn't find your keys. My angels hide my keys on me a lot. They think it's funny. So we play this game. So, you can't find your keys or whatever. And then come to find out, had you left at that time, maybe you would have run into somebody you really didn't want to, or maybe there would have been an accident, or maybe there could have been certain things that would have happened that would have been negative in your life. That's your intuition.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Or when you just know, when someone calls you on your phone and you're just like, I was just thinking about you.
All the time. Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's psychic.
Yes.
Right?
It is.
You get that
gut. Do it all the time. Yeah.
Yes. You get this gut feeling of, I need to go here to maybe apply for a job or something, or I'm feeling drawn to this type of work.
What is that? What is drawn to? What does that mean? I mean, it means
It means we're supposed to go to
energy
it.
is drawing you to it.
Exactly. Exactly. So as we begin to acknowledge those little things here and there, that it's just like a muscle. You acknowledge and give attention to the muscle and you go and work out. Now I need to work out a little bit more, but you need to go. I need to really get going, but you work out, right? And what happens? That muscle becomes stronger.
Yeah.
And the fat around that muscle. Now I know y'all probably ain't got the same problem I do, but that's okay. I'm going to be open about it. You know, the fat around the muscle begins to what? It begins to fall away. So if you begin to look at that fat as what's blocking you, at that fat actually, this is a whole different subject,
but especially a good metaphor.
It is.
But especially women, some women, we tend to get overweight in certain areas of our body more so than others. And they would tell you it's biology, right? We get more overweight around our midsection and such. That's actually a protective barrier. That's us.
Is it?
That's us. The energy of I want to protect myself from getting hurt. I want to protect myself from attracting a person, whatever, you know, of the same or opposite sex or what have you.
Yes.
I want to protect myself from love because I don't really feel I A, deserve love, or B, that love is not going to hurt me, or whatever the case may be. So what do? We protect our sacral.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. The seat of our femininity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We put this protective barrier around us so that we repel actually that which we really desire. Yeah. So that's our way of doing it. So if you're going to, as you exercise that muscle, the fat begins to fall away. So what has protected you, or your mind said, I need to protect you from this because you're either going to be considered crazy or gosh only knows what you could possibly unleash in your life. And oh my God, I don't understand it. The fat falls away and then that muscle becomes stronger and your spiritual gifts become so amazingly honed and toned, and you have the ability to control that.
Yes, I love that.
Yes, control it. It is and work with it and do all kinds of things with it. You know, once you have that control of something, belief is really, for me, believing that it was real, and then seeing for myself examples. It took years for me to really accept it was happening, or that I could read people and do things, and when I could, I would, you know, minimalize it. It didn't really happen, or maybe I just got lucky or something, you know. I didn't, you know, for a long time. And I think a lot of people, like empaths, like you're talking about with weight, I've noticed a lot of people who have very strong empathy will weigh a lot more sometimes because they, like you said, the padding, it is padding. It's literal armor. Your body's like armor. Don't
pay attention to me, you know, don't.
Yeah, it's your body just starts kind of doing it. You don't even have to be eating. Sometimes some people aren't even eating much and they're still going to put on the weight because it's not water weight or anything. It's actually their energy saying imbalance, saying, hey, we need to protect something.
Yes.
Let's do it this way.
Yeah. And it can take us a while. Like, you know, of course, I've had 3 children and all these, I could make all these, you know, statements and whatnot. But it's taken me a while to get to a point where I'm feel good enough within me. First of all, it doesn't matter anymore. Like I'm fine. But now I'm on a different journey where it's like, okay, I'm going to begin to lose the weight, not for anybody else, but for me.
Yes.
And because I'm all right with being seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Truth be told. Yes.
I'm okay with being seen now. That wasn't the case.
Why were you afraid of being seen? If that's too personal, you don't have to say. But
I think there's a lot of reasons why. Because the more you're okay, so every powerful empath, I believe firmly, has to have his or her narcissistic relationship event. And sometimes we have more than one, because that begins to show us that the real deep rooted shadow work that we need to do. I have a saying that the dirty little secret of the empath is we help everybody else because we really don't want to look inside and help ourselves.
Yes. Yes. That's a great,
good point.
Yes.
So I didn't necessarily want to be seen because if you see me as the oracle that I am, are you going to accept me? Are you going to accept what I have to bring to the table? Are you going to immediately attack me because I'm no longer prescribing to a specific religious and spiritual belief? And do I deserve to be seen? Do I really deserve that? And that was a lot of things that I've had to work through over the years. And I will tell you, each time I get ready to go reach that next level, I start having weight issues again.
Oh, wow.
It just happens.
Protecting yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
But now I recognize what that is. And I'm like, okay, what's my fear? Right.
Yeah.
What would really happen if, bam, I'm out here helping people create their businesses? What would really happen? Their spirit-infused businesses. Okay, what's the worst that could happen? Well, I don't know. We'd have a whole bunch of light workers out here helping raise the vibration of humanity. I guess that's the worst thing that can happen, right? So is that so bad? That's so bad.
Right? Not bad at all.
Or people, a lot of us go through this where we don't, we're told so often that if you're operating in your gifts, you don't get the right to be or deserve to be abundant in every area, including money in your life.
That's people who don't believe that it's like you should be paid to heal, but a doctor does.
Yeah, doesn't he?
And
it's not the right kind of healing.
A therapist does.
Yeah.
And I could even take it back to biblical and pre-biblical times. Every time a prophet or a medicine woman or a medicine man or a priest or a priestess would come in the area, or you would go to that temple, you brought something.
Oh, yeah, gift.
Sure did.
Shaman especially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shamans, whatever. You brought something. And it wasn't because of anything other than there should be an even energy exchange.
Right.
So, and I tell people all this, I go right back to the Bible because that's the holy text that I know the best, right? Yeah. So I go right back to the Bible. I'm like, when the prophet and the prophetess came to town, what happened? We have many examples of bringing oil and gold and clothes and goats and all sorts of things, not because they're like, oh, well, unless you pay me $5.99, I'm not going to do anything for you. It's because they respected
our energy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They respected that within us. So while all of us, yes, are psychic, I think more of us need to recognize not only are we psychic, but we're powerful healers, teachers, mentors, right? We're powerful coaches. We're powerful crystal bracelet makers or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
We have something. We're powerful business people. We're powerful, woodworkers, whatever the case is. You can infuse that spirit into your energy, into anything.
Yes.
And there's supposed to be a balance. And that balance right now is money. Yeah. Before it used to be oil and goats and clothes, and we might get back to that point. I don't know the way the economy is
right. Kind of looking like.
Never know.
But it's just an honoring, right? It's an honoring, and I think more of us need to wake up to that.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, that makes so much sense the way that you said it.
Listeners, I met Dr. Lisa on Instagram recently, and we talked back and forth. And she actually helps people start their businesses in these fields. So we talk about on the podcast and have been we've covered a lot of topics, Dr. Lisa. We haven't even scratched the surface. I feel like, there's so many avenues. There's so many stories. Everybody has a story.
Yeah.
And so how do you help people start their businesses? Like, what do you do for them?
Well, I have a number of different ways, but the crux and the core of it is a program that I developed called the Practical Lightworker. And because to me, when we hear the word light worker, right, or people present as light workers, a lot of times they're just kind of like very ethereal, and that's beautiful and that's great. I love it. But everything isn't unicorns and fairy dust. So the practical side of me that came up through corporate America and has built other businesses before and helped other people build their businesses said, we got to have this balance because we have all of this up here that we have these abilities to do, and yet we're not grounding them into the earth to make them, to bring them to manifestation of healing and the raising of the frequency and the human vibration in totality, right? So what we do is over the course of 6 months, we say, what do you already have in your hand?
Yeah.
Like you said, a lot of people are already doing this work and they don't even recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you have in your hand? What's your heart? Who do you want to help? And we help identify that and then help you formulate not only just one business, but multiple businesses, right? Multiple streams of income within that. So various people can, wherever they're at, they can interact and work with you and help you formulate that business, the structure, go out on social media, present yourself in a way that you're adding value and you're attracting your tribe. And then also we have something we call a limitless lightworker certification. So in that I teach metaphysics, astrology, how to create guided meditations that you can put out for others or just for your clients, tarot, Akashic and galactic records. So like figuring out where people are from.
Records.
Yeah.
I've never heard of the galactic records. I need to hear about that.
Yeah, the galactic are your starseed records. Like we all had a jump off point from source, and not enough of us read those records, right?
Yeah.
So
I can't read them. I mean, I haven't tried. I've tried once. We had a woman come on the show a couple times who reads the Akashic records.
Yeah.
And she walked us through like kind of a meditation to be able to do it. And I did walk through it like in my imagination, and I saw my book in this meditation, and it had like red heart. But I've never heard of a galactic one. I've never heard of that before. I know about the stars. We've had episodes about star seeds and stuff like that. And the galactic beings.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I want to hear about that. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Fine.
That caught my attention.
You're fine. So the galactic record. So like I was saying, there's like, we all have a jump off point. I mean, understanding that there is no quote unquote time, but that's the only way we can understand this, right? Through that construct. So we all have a jump off point from source because we are all, as energetic beings, aspect of source, God, the universe, spirit, however, that entity. It goes back to you
saying you can feel like a consciousness like of everybody and you connect.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we all have a point. And some of us, our original jump off point is like closer to source. So I will say like 8th, 9th dimension, right? And those are more of the people that they tend to be more of the way showers, or they tend to be the ones that are these quantum fields where you kind of come in and you're a catalyst and all of these things.
I know some people like that. Yes.
Yeah.
I think you are too, but you contain it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So don't think you can't read the galactic. Come out, right? But then from wherever you come, we all have different, not we all, but a good chunk of us, the starseeds, have different points that we have been incarnated at throughout the universe, because you can't come from 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever dimension and come directly down into 3rd dimension. It's too dense. You have to get used to densifying. You have to get used to kind of coalescing your energy to become solid, right?
Okay.
So what the galactic records are is I tend to see either the original jump off point usually, or I see one very close to that, where that's a predominant aspect of who you are. So lately I've been running into a lot of Andromedans. I've been running into a lot of Syrians from Sirius, Orions. I've been running into some of like from the Zeta race or from Mer. And a lot of times people will just be like, well, I'm a Palladian. Well, honey, most of us were, okay? Like that's like kind of the final jump before you come into 3D, from a 5D to a 3D. So it's that galactic is just kind of seeing your tree as your energy has gone into different dimensions and had different incarnations.
That's amazing.
Right?
I would love, I will definitely be looking more into that because I'm really curious. I'm going to,
really cool.
Yeah, that's
love it. Not enough of us read them. And,
I would love to learn from you. You have so much knowledge. Like,
Yes.
Many different points of view too.
Yeah.
So you could teach it really well, I bet.
Yeah. There you go, limitless light worker. I don't believe that while, again, we're all psychic, and there's a lot of people probably listening that are mediums or readers or of different kinds. We're not limited to just that if we really truly believe we're infinite beings. So the reason why I teach so many of the basics, the tarot, Akashic, and I tie it all together with Reiki attunement. And when I attune, I used to be Reiki master teacher, but I've recognized that I also infuse some shamanic energy and some Sekhmet Reiki and all these different energies into the attunement, because I believe in teaching you how to not just be in tune with the universal life force frequency, but how do you kind of be Neo and go into the construct and say, I need guns, lots of guns, and they come, right? Or how do you be Trinity and hop into that helicopter and say, I need to know how to operate this, and then it's downloaded. That's showing you how you can go up and say, this is the gift I wish to use. Because this is how energy must present itself as I'm helping this other party. Okay. And you go and you get it. And you operate in that frequency. So we certify you in being a limitless light worker, as well as what we call the LBA. So don't get your MBA, get your LBA. And that's your light worker business accelerator. And so we do that together. And then over that course of time, you have a business. You have a business. If you do about 80% of what we tell you to do, you have a business, and then you go on and have your career in light work. That's my goal.
That's amazing. Prosper
in purpose.
I love that you're doing that. I had like when I was younger, I wanted to be doing what you're doing. And I didn't. So I'm a little older. I don't know. Maybe I will still someday.
It's never too late, honey. I just turned 54 years old. It is never
I'm right behind you.
I didn't start this, honey, till I was in my 50s. Okay?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, well, you did start it really young, just with a different name.
Right, but not this. Angle. Yeah. Right? Yeah. You know, I coached people and everything for a while first and built that up to 6-figure business. And then Spirit said one day, it's time for you to help others, because I can't do it all on my own.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys can't do it. We can't do it all on our own, people. Yeah. So we're here to help you wake up to that. Right.
Yes.
And so we have that. And then we have other ways. I've got a Creators from the Heart membership and all different ways that people can work with us to build themselves to this point where they're giving permission to their purpose to provide for their person.
I love that.
My mantra. Give permission to your purpose to provide for your person.
And then you all be happy. Everybody be happy then.
Everybody should be happy. We want
everybody should. Walking in love.
Walking in doing what they're supposed to be doing, their passion.
Absolutely.
Now, Misty, I know you have questions. I know you want to pick her brain. I want to keep going, so I'm going to let you.
Well, okay. So you were talking about, the different steps for, how you teach in the businesses. So step one was, figuring out what it is that you're passionate about and what you want in it. So after that, you go towards, or you're asking the light workers to help you then, is that correct?
Well,
the second step.
My coaches and I have this really cool ability to you tell me who you want to help and you tell me how, right? And I dig in a little bit further, because the first place we start, let me just tell you, the first place we start with this is what is the greatest pain that you have yourself overcome? What's that pain, that energetic trauma you've transmuted, right? Yeah. And then reintegrated into your being. So it's elevated. So now that can come around, but it doesn't hit you the same. You grow, you're right. You've released the shadow and allowed it to be free and be in the light in a higher octave. So we start there to create your niche, because what happens, honestly, we all want to help everybody, but we help you create your DNA seed We put the DNA in the seed, and then we plant the seed with you, and we water it and we weed it and we let it grow, and then it can grow into this massive thing. But we start somewhere. That's why I started this whole thing, because I was learning all this stuff over here in the spiritual realm, and I went to a business coach and learned all this other stuff over here, but nobody was putting them together.
Yeah.
So in November 2020, I said, well, why not?
Yes.
So I put it together.
Okay.
That's I love
right.
That. I know. And you're right. You know, one thing is true about light working. I say light working, or doing work in the field of this, you know, healing basically is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's not something one person can do. It's not something two people can do. It's really, you know, for me, a dream would be for everybody just to like accept themselves, be happy, and just dwell.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know, and just have a good time. There's a lot of hurt in the world. There's a lot of anger and ignorance.
And they don't know how to let that go.
And what you said about the narcissism, and it's interesting that you say every empath has to have their narcissist. It seems like to me that I've seen that in action. And a lot of empaths, they don't value themselves over any other people. They learn that through the narcissist and getting that healing.
They do.
You know, I think.
I agree.
Yeah, we're taught that as children, though.
Yeah, we are.
I've not met an empath yet, and maybe one of you might be the first. But I've not met an empath yet that when they were kids, they weren't the fixer, the one that, you know, the one that got everybody like, okay, it's all right. Like, you know, and they put their own needs, wants, and desires behind everybody else's because they just wanted peace in the house.
Yes. Right. Amen to that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That was me. Yeah. I love that.
That was me.
Yeah.
And then it becomes, as a teenager, you still do that. And then we begin to have these interpersonal relationships where we're always the one that's okay. And even in my corporate world, I would always say I was the kingmaker. Mm-hmm. And one day I realized I don't just want to be the kingmaker. I'm the queen. Because when you make that king, once the king sits on his throne, he tends to forget about you and act like you never existed.
Mm-hmm. True.
He doesn't do the same for you like you did for him.
Exactly.
Yes. Anyway, so we don't see that in ourselves, though, until we have this narcissist that comes in and that automatically can see all of those areas where we're unhealed and identifies them. And then at first love bombs you and you just feel fabulous, right?
Yeah.
They love bomb. But what they have to do is they got to take their energy vampires. And so they got to take that energy from you because they really don't have light within themselves because they've been hurt usually.
Yes.
So but their reaction to it was different from ours. Their reaction was, I'm going to create this facade and I'm going to release all of that. Because if I love, I get hurt. So instead, I'm just going to steal from everybody else. And I'm just going to create this like, this is not who I really am, but I'm going to be who I think I need to be for everybody to be attracted to me and love me and all this stuff.
Yes.
So they suck all this out of you. And then then when they really want to turn the screws and make sure that you don't leave them, that's when they start flipping it on you. That's when they start gaslighting you.
Yes.
That's then they go to your friends in the smear campaign. Mm-hmm. That's when they cut you off from your family and friends that could possibly help you not fall into this trap. So if you're able to see this for what it is, through my second ex-husband, I'm not doing it again. Through my second ex-husband, I recognized that I still had daddy issues, that I still had self-esteem issues, that even though the world saw me as this really powerful woman, you know, who made it and did it on her own, even though she was a single mother of 3, even though she's African-American, even though all these things, even though I had to leave college, she's a she, even though I had to leave college because I got pregnant and ran out of money, all these things, I didn't value me. I put this facade out here, but I was not in touch with my own feelings because I did not value my feelings. Yes. I valued everybody else's. Mm-hmm. So there was a whole lot that was going on that I was able to see after that narcissistic experience, I would not be who I am today had I not had it.
Right.
Amen.
Right.
That's right.
So I'm grateful for it.
Yes. I love that. Because most people, that's what they need to be.
I have a question for you. Could you give any advice to listeners who might be in a situation like that and might think they might be? They're not sure. What kind of advice might you give them to let them know how they can figure that out if they are in a situation with a person who is taking their energy and telling them they can't have a life, basically, without saying those words and manipulating them? And they're wondering, it might be. They're like, this person might be. Maybe I am an empath and this is happening to me. What would you ask them to ask themselves, maybe? If
you're asking yourself the question, then you already know the answer. Then the answer is yes.
Great answer. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
If you have to ask yourself the question, the answer is yes. How does one then transition out of that? First of all, do not be ashamed. Mm-hmm. Do not be ashamed that you feel that that you've fallen into this position. Don't. Start to, even if it's you got to reach out in secret, even if you got to listen to podcasts and maybe watch some people like myself on YouTube or whatever the case may be, begin to recognize that you deserve to be happy and whole and healed, and that you have an amazingly powerful purpose in this world. And this is why you're going through what you're going through.
Yes.
You have to learn that you do deserve it. And then
you gotta go through it.
You can have it.
You do. And if nobody else tells you this today, I want to tell you that you are loved. I love you. We love you. The universe loves you. And I honor and respect the beautiful, divine, loving being that you are.
Love it. I totally agree. I love you too.
I love you too. I love all y'all. I love all y'all.
Yes. Yes. And a lot of people that come to me end up either they've just gotten out of this or they're in it right now. A lot of light workers that come to me. And so that's why we build up the other side, right? So, a lot of times folks will come and they thought they went through a dark night of the soul. But baby, we do an attunement and it just shakes it up. But we're here to help, and we're here to also do like energy work with our students as well. So we help you with that, because this particular dark night of the soul, first of all, never be afraid of it, guys. Do not be afraid. Right?
You've been through worse.
Yeah.
and you know what? Nothing can be born unless something dies.
True.
Amen. Yep.
You got it. The whole tower. You pulled the tower card.
Yes.
The tower's got to come down. The structure that you've built your life on. Let me tell you, so you built it on sand. So we got to take it down and then build the concrete structure that's going to facilitate your true growth.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
So you allowing yourself to go through that deconstruction, transmutation, and reconstruction is going to allow you to have the light that your tribe needs to see, so they can follow you and follow that light and go through the same healing that you're going through right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I think every single one of us, we all have different healing processes, different things we have to heal from. And those are the people we attract. My clients as a reader, advisor, they usually have similar issues to ones I've had all my life, or I have overcome usually. Absolutely. If I haven't overcome them, they don't usually come to me. They just happen that way,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's interesting. So where can listeners find you and find out more about you, Dr. Lisa?
Well, I'm all over. I'm on Instagram at Heart of INSP, TikTok at Heart of INSP, I think too, or Heart of Inspiration, YouTube Heart of Inspiration, and my website is heartofinspiration.net. So pretty much anywhere on social medias, you'll find me there. I'm actually on this new thing you guys might want to also hear about. It's called the Wisdom app. It's kind of a spiritual clubhouse.
What? Where? I need to be there.
It's called Wisdom.
I want to join.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. So I'm on the Wisdom app, Heart of Inspiration. So y'all come find it's new. So guys, come over. I mean, it's amazing. There's so many from all different walks of spirituality. And even just like there's medical doctors and there's counselors and there's financial advisors. You can just find almost anything, right? So we're on the Wisdom app as well. So I'm also doing that. And also have a podcast called the Sunday Soul Podcast.
Her podcast is wonderful, listeners. I was listening to it for a couple of days after we talked. You have a great podcast.
Thank you. You guys,
if you like podcasts, you will love hers. If you like ours,
have to come on mine and let's
we would love to.
That'd
be great. And listeners, I'll put all this information and links in the podcast description. Oh, and by the way, this is a video podcast on Spotify. Forgot to tell you that in the beginning. I always forget in the beginning, but I put it in the description.
I love that. I have a gift for your listeners too. Is that okay for me to give y'all listeners a gift?
I would love that. I think the listeners would love a gift, don't you, Misty?
Gifts are good, yeah.
So we're going to make sure that they have the link below, but I wrote an interactive ebook that I've called Living the Quantum Life. And it's interactive because I go through how I began to live quantumly, basically unashamedly, unabashedly, just infinite. And so we go through how to access that quantum field, right? Your quantum field, to bring it into manifestation into this realm. And so I want to give that to you all as well as a 7-day meditation series that takes you through the healing process of being able to live quantumly. So I will give you all, I call it a quantum bundle. So I will make sure that you all have the ability to go and download those as well.
That's amazing. I'll thank the listener. I'll thank you for the listeners, and because I'm going to go through it too. And I'll put that link in there first. Listeners, if you're looking for that one, that'll be the first link in the description. That's your gift. Yeah. That's our gift too.
I know.
And another gift is our sponsor. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Everclear. Everclear is an advice app where you can get advice from psychics and empaths, so you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. And lastly, I want to thank Dr. Lisa and my bestie, Misty. and of course, the listeners who are the reason we do this.
We love you.
We love you. And any last words, Lisa? Any advice or anything for the listeners? You've given so much advice. It's great.
Yeah.
But, just guys, take a moment to love yourself. Take a moment to have gratitude for everything and realize that you are completely unstoppable, wealthy, and free. And don't let anyone take that from you.
Yes.
Perfect last words.
It is.
Thank you for listening. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.